Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mitch. Good Wednesday morning to you all. Hope you guys are having an awesome start to your day, getting up and feeling great, and having a great week so far. I'm going to give you an update weather-wise on what could unfold today. Expecting a pretty large area of the eastern U.S., central U.S. to potentially see some severe storms today. Now, this will be very isolated in nature for some folks. So even though they might be calling for storms in your specific location, you might not get a drop of rain. It's just kind of one of them setups. But we're going to talk about who has the best chance to see basically more widespread storms today and who has the best chance to see severe storms today. So if you guys have not subscribed, consider doing that as always. Like the video if you like it. And I'm promoting the heck out of my Facebook right now. If you guys got a Facebook, whether you're active on it or not, hit that link right there and give my Facebook page a like. It will mean a lot. I'm trying to grow my Facebook and trying to get to 10,000 likes before the end of the year. So do that. If you're big on Twitter, obviously give me a follow on Twitter. It's a great way to keep up to date with the weather of what I do, especially when things really are popping off, when we have a hurricane threat, when we have a winter storm threat, severe weather threats. I'm very active when the weather is active on those social media platforms, so definitely do that. Instagram too, you know, it basically links to my Facebook. If you got an Instagram, hit me up on Instagram too. But anyways, if you guys got anything that I can pray about, please put it in the comments below. It gives me an opportunity to pray over it, and it gives others an opportunity to do so too. Wednesdays are normally my days where I wake up a little later, so I've not read the comments yet this morning, but I will do so after this video. So any prayer requests, I will definitely pray over them after the video. So appreciate the support, guys. Let's get rolling. Storm Prediction Center. Look at this huge slight risk. I'm not expecting this to get upgraded to an enhanced risk anywhere. But they normally do the upgrade, if they do any upgrades or tweaks. It's usually about mid-morning, which is well after I make this video. So if they do, you know, watch out maybe up here in the Ohio Valley areas of the northern mid-south. But this is a pretty large slight risk extending all the way from eastern Oklahoma through areas of Mississippi, Alabama, even all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, through a large chunk of Tennessee, the entire state of Kentucky, and then areas of southern Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, and a large area of central and western areas of West Virginia. And then you got a marginal risk extended for a lot of folks. So even in the marginal risk, for example, the Carolinas, y'all can see storms today. There is a tornado threat in two separate areas that we need to watch. This area right here, and then this area right here. That is a 2% chance to see a tornado 25 miles in any given location. We need to watch out for that. We'll talk a little bit on that. And then you got a 15% chance of damaging winds approaching 50 knots or higher in this region right here, which means these storms could produce some damaging winds today, any of them. Hail threat too, not as large as a damaging wind threat, but there will be a chance for hail for any of these storms. Pretty low outside of the slight risk for hail. But what we're watching here on Water Vapor Loop is a big complex of storms really moving due south through the panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas. It's knocking on the door of Amarillo right now, and there is some wind damage being reported. There's also a complex of storms moving through Alabama, starting to weaken, but beginning to move into areas of northern Georgia too. But we'll check out that area of storms heading towards Amarillo right now. This could really pack a punch. There's already reports of wind damage. These little reports right here, you know, trees are broken off. You know, you got damage right up here. So this complex of storms is causing damage, so we need to watch out for this on your morning commute. And then we look at Birmingham. Let's look at the Birmingham radar and see what's going on here this morning. There's already been flash flood warnings. A lot of storms are just forming over the same areas. But this is a hefty area of showers and storms this morning also. Birmingham definitely waking up to a rocky morning this morning, and just a lot of widespread rain all the way down to Auburn, Alabama. So let's take a look at the HRRR model as a whole for the entire southeast and areas of the mid-south, Ohio Valley, and the south-central U.S. today. And what could unfold? It gives you a good idea of how widespread the storms are going to be today. So moving through, I can tell you one thing, the HRRR model is doing an awful job picking up what is going on in Alabama right now. I mean, the HRRR model in real time is just showing a cluster of storms. But whatever it is, the HRRR model, which is a short-range model, wants this to weaken as it moves into North Georgia, and then potentially refire up, and really the displacement of convection, meaning showers and storms, is everywhere. So I'll stop this around 7-8 p.m. You got an area of showers and storms up here. right here in northern Alabama, northern Georgia, over here in Mississippi, some storms over here in the eastern Carolinas, way up here near Washington, D.C., Maryland, and Florida. So they're everywhere. So basically, we're watching, I would say, two really, I wouldn't even say discrete, but areas that we need to watch out for where these storms do form that can be significant. But anybody could see storms today. But we're going to zoom into each individual area. Watch out Atlanta a little bit later this evening. You could get rocked by some nasty storms well after the sun goes down. So let's talk about the folks up here in the southern Ohio Valley, Kentucky, and Tennessee first, because the storms might be the worst up here. But when I say worst, I don't mean terrible storms. Just definitely an area to more so watch out for. But as we get into midday, here it goes. You already got some storms kind of firing up here in areas of eastern Kentucky, southwest Virginia, areas of the mountains of Tennessee and North Carolina. And then we're getting through the day, and these are the storms we watch out for as we get into mid-afternoon. Okay, watch out, areas like Cincinnati, some storms really close to this area right here, nasty storms. Watch out Lexington, Kentucky. The thermodynamics will be the best down here, meaning you got the best low-level moisture, probably higher surface temperatures. The Cape levels are probably the higher down here, which means you got a lot more fuel for these storms to really latch on to. But these storms continue, and then watch out for these. These could produce a quick tornado in areas of southern Indiana, areas of western Kentucky. Even these can too. All of them can produce some small hail and some damaging winds. But watch out for a quick tornado in this region, especially this little cluster of storms right into here. They don't look as intense as maybe these storms in southern Ohio as we're getting to around dinner time this evening. But they could produce a quick tornado, so please watch out. But these move through. There's going to be a big old cluster of storms in Ohio today as we get later into the afternoon. So, there's a slight risk up here, especially the southern end of the state. So watch out for some big storms in southern Ohio in general. Well, later this afternoon into this evening, they really could pack a punch, and these start to move into areas of West Virginia a little bit later into the evening. You move a little further southwest, and these storms could get quite intense here in the coming hours, probably in the next few hours in areas of Arkansas, Little Rock. You guys could see some storms a little bit later this morning. You guys have been rocked by storms, it seems like, for months now. But then they continue to fire up. Watch out Little Rock, even watch out Memphis as you get into about midday, a couple hours after lunchtime. And then you got this area, a big cluster of showers and storms that start to try to move into the southwest portion of the state. This might miss Little Rock, but these could produce large hail and then also a damaging wind threat, maybe an isolated tornado threat. But this will be an area to watch out for this region of the country. These storms could really pack a punch. And then as they get into northern Louisiana, large hail, some damaging winds is possible with these storms. Watch out Shreveport a little bit later this afternoon and this evening for sure. And then we switch to the deep south. This cluster of showers and storms will continue to move through, kind of weaken as it moves into Georgia. But it already looks stronger than what, like I said, the short range models are showing as far as the HRRR model. But as we move into the afternoon hours, after lunchtime, some showers and storms for Huntsville possibly. Watch out northern Mississippi. But in general, a little bit more isolated in nature here. This area could be under a slight risk, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get a drop of rain. But any of these storms that do pop up in this atmosphere could be quite intense. And watch out this evening, cluster of storms start to move into areas of kind of southern areas of Mississippi, southwest areas of Mississippi. This could pack a punch right here. And more storms continue to fire up in this region right here. So it's hard to predict exactly where these are going to happen. You got a cluster of storms could produce a quick tornado right here in western areas of Tennessee. And then watch out a little bit later this evening, Atlanta. You guys could get hit by a line of storms that moves through well after the sun goes down, but it'll start to lose steam in the coming hours as you lose the basically daytime energy you need, and you get in the nighttime and you lose it. And the atmosphere begins to calm down and stabilize a little bit. The Carolinas, very isolated in nature as far as storms. We're getting into well after lunchtime into mid this afternoon. Some storms firing up in areas of the western North Carolina. Storms firing up along the coastal regions of the Carolinas. Maybe an isolated shower or storm for the Midlands of South Carolina. We're going to hope the coverage is a lot better than that, because that's where I'm located, and I need a good downpour. I tell you that. I need a good soaking. But I tell you what, the latest short-range models do not look well for my area. There's a lot of folks that need rain in the Carolinas, especially the farther east you go. But this could definitely, any storm that does get going in the Carolinas could be severe. It's just going to be a lot more isolated in nature and almost impossible to predict where they're going to pop up. My folks up here in the Northeast could see some storms, especially if you're further south, but you're dealing with some rain this morning. This will move off. Maybe some more storms will pop up in Maine today. But the interior Northeast remains quiet. Watch out Washington, D.C. around dinner time or when you're laying the kids down for bed. Maryland, a little cluster of storms could work its way through, could produce some severe weather. And then you watch out Ohio a little bit later this evening and then into areas of West Virginia well after the sun goes down, southwest PA. You guys could just get more widespread rain and storms as opposed to maybe a severe pack of storms. But these could still produce some severe storms for sure as they move through. And then it just turns into more of a widespread rain overnight for the rest of Pennsylvania, areas of the mid-Atlantic, and then areas of the Delmarva area. But we look out into the south central U.S., really what you're dealing with is this cluster of storms that will sink through areas of Ohio, Oklahoma, areas of northern Texas today. And then after you're done with that, maybe some storms fire up again here and deep in southwest Texas and areas of New Mexico. That, some of these could be severe. Watch out. But outside of that, it's a little bit of a quieter day across the south central U.S. and the southern plains. The north central U.S. dealing with some storms, some showery weather in areas of Wisconsin this morning, maybe Chicago, some rain. And then maybe some storms will fire up a little bit later in southern Wisconsin, northern Illinois. And then this cluster of rain will move into areas of Michigan. And then maybe some pop-up showers, maybe a storm could pop up anywhere between North Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, northern Michigan today. But in general, this is really scattered in nature. But temperatures, these will be some uncomfortable 90-degree readings here in the Carolinas today as we're ahead of a trough. Humidity is built. You can already feel a big-time difference out there this morning in the southeast. A lot more humidity out there. But if you're behind all this storm action, cooler temperatures in the 70s for the Midwest and north central U.S., rain-cooled air for this portion of the country, Wisconsin, northern Illinois, and then a cooler day across the Northeast in general, 60s and 70s for highs, but in the south, southeast, very warm temperatures, very uncomfortable and very humid. That's all I got, guys. Thank y'all for tuning in. Stay safe today with the storms expected. God bless all y'all, and I'll talk to y'all this evening.